talked a lot about how people are not legally allowed to read books in public performances, on social media, in live streams without obtaining a license first. But does this also pertain to booksellers who are reading passages of books to market those books? Let's talk to everybody's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer, Tony, to find out more.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called The IP Professor that is dedicated to all things intellectual property.
We've done a ton of videos on whether or not people can be reading books in public, on live streams, on social media. We will link all those in the playlist. We know the answer is that's copyright infringement. You have to get a license in order to do a public performance, be it on social media or in person. But we have had some follow-up questions from people who are in the book space. We've had people who operate bookstores and are booksellers ask if, because they are using it specifically to market and sell those books, are they then allowed to indiscriminately read whatever they choose from the book because it's marketing to sell that book?
The same rule applies. I hate to break it to these folks, but it is the God's honest truth. You're still committing some type of copyright infringement. Now, that said, let's have a hypothetical here, right? Let's say that you're promoting a brand new book that is just landed on shelves, and you want to read a book, excerpt of it to promote the sale of that specific book. Generate sales for you, everybody's all happy, and obviously, royalty for the publisher themselves. You would want to see if, let's say, when publisher X sent you like a pallet or a boxes of books, if they also wanted you to engage in some type of marketing plan. Maybe there was some type of marketing period that exists for to generate sales for this particular book. And maybe, just maybe, the publisher wants you to help them in their endeavor to promote the sale of the book. So maybe they'll lay out certain parameters of how you can promote the book by having, let's say, the banners if you have a brick and mortar store, or if you have, let's say, certain display banners next to where the books are supposed to be. But maybe the publisher also lays out permission for you to read specific portions of the book. This is the kind of thing that would be typically found in a promotional license agreement. In my space, I deal with it more in the film and television space, where, let's say, an upcoming film that's coming out in theaters, or let's say a television show that's landing on a streaming platform. Usually we get a promotional license agreement from Paramount or Disney, or from Viacom, whoever it is, where they give us permission to show an approved clip or an approved part of that said movie or television show. But then we have to do a call to action telling people you could go watch the show on Paramount Plus, or you can watch the movie now available in theaters. So that is typically the standard with promotional license agreements. And I would venture to think that the only proper way to do that is by with a book is by getting that necessary promo license agreement language in place, getting permission from the publisher to read approved portions of the book to the public. This usually happens by way of what's called an electronic press kit, EPK. They may provide you, let's say, handout photos of the author that you could, let's say, post on the website, excerpts that you can show on a website, maybe even read out loud, whatever it is. But those would have to be laid out in a promo license agreement. If we're talking about a book that is beyond that promotional period, it's just an old book that you're just trying to get off your shelves. You've had it for 5 years and you're desperate to get it off, and you think maybe reading an excerpt is going to help generate those sales. I'm sorry, but that's where you're also going to have to get a license. And in this case, you're going to have to get a public performance license, or at least approach the publisher and say, hey, listen, I have all these books. Is it okay? Just ask maybe, and they'll give it to you gratis. Is it okay for me to do a public reading of a portion of the book? So that way I can encourage people to go ahead and, buy this book. Or you can even spin it in a way where you can contact the publisher and say, hey, I have all these books. Is the author interested in coming in and doing a live reading for everybody? You can even spin it that way. You create press coverage for your store. You create demand within the community, and now you're potentially creating sales. So it's a win any way you look at it. And I think that might be the more sound strategy. But just flat out reading a book without understanding those legal parameters and understanding what permissions you are or are not allowed to get, that's where you want to make sure that you're playing by the rules here, and that you're legally protecting yourself.
And as somebody who's been in publishing for a long time, I can with full confidence say publishers want your promotion and your help marketing, but they do want to control how things are marketed. So ask the questions. Most of them are going to be very helpful with you. They want to work with you. They want to empower you to do things. They just need to make sure it's going to fall under their marketing plan and how they are doing it for the book. So collaborating with them, working together is beneficial to everyone. If you have further questions, let's go ahead and drop them down below. Tony's coming back for upcoming episodes. And as always, you can reach out to Tony on his social media. Tony, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor, and you can check out my entertainment law podcast called End Scene. New episodes drop every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Drop your questions down below so that we can help make this your most profitable and stress-free year ever in the publishing space. Tony's coming back for more episodes on the legal side of things, and we've got all sorts of really great people coming to help educate you to make this your best year ever in the space. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.